This what y'all want me to read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Warning. The following show is intended for mature audiences and contains adult content, graphic language, harsh topics, absurd opinions, and unrestrained points of view. Listeners' discretion is advised. Any views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and belong solely to this podcast owners and do not represent those of people, institutions, or organizations that the owners may or may not be associated with in professional or personal capacity. Unless explicitly stated, any views or opinions are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, or individual. Thank you for listening.
Oh, y'all serious, huh?
So one of the things that I wanted to bring up right now, we were having a conversation off mic, and it goes back to music itself as well. One of the things that's very important in this day and age, and I think everyone should definitely take advantage of, is the fact that you could learn just about anything on fucking YouTube, dude. All right. And it goes back to music as well. You want to learn how to play the bass? You could look up a tutorial. You want to learn how to connect a drum machine? You could look up a tutorial. You want to learn so on and so forth. I come from an era, you might have experienced part of it. I come from an era where if you wanted to learn something, you had to go to school.
Or you have to find someone that's willing to teach. That's
the hardest shit
that
fucking ever.
That might not even want you to learn the secret. The secret. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. We experienced a little something like that.
We experienced gaining access to internet using your house phone. You had to cut it off for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You had to cut off your house phone just to try to get in and wait for that 30 to 45 minute login. You know what I'm saying?
Upload.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then go ahead and load a freaking website. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We came from that era.
Yeah. And even then, it was very minimal. The internet...
Minimal.
Only people that knew HTML and fucking Linux and coding had websites at the time. You know? And that shit was a whole... Dude, you ever seen the fucking... the book for coding? I think it's called Linux. The motherfucker's like a Bible, dude. It's like this big. How in the fuck did people cram that shit into the fucking brain? Now they created these hosting websites like Wix.com, and no, we're not sponsored by them. Where you could just go in there and drag and drop and it's done. But originally, dude, that shit was no joke, man. I only know so much about computers. I've never learned coding. I've never learned anything beyond the Control-Alt-Delete.
That's why I didn't finish, you know what I mean? The studio on graphic web design. Not because, I mean, there was other factors, but coding was just like, what the fuck?
It's a whole other language.
It's like, oh shit,
It's a whole other language. It's a whole other language that's complicated as fuck.
And it depends who's teaching you.
And it depends
who's giving you the knowledge. If they can't break it down for you, it's just like...
Right.
You gotta be gifted to understand it more, or whatever, or whatnot.
I think it needs to be broken down properly. I think that's a big part of it.
And I think we're like you said, we're at the age. You can learn intricate shit on YouTube. You don't have to go to school, or you can obviously, but you could learn. You could learn. There's, man, going back to music, there's a lot of artists that learn how to produce and record basically, and make their shit sound engineered by a
by a professional with a giant mix board.
Yes, studio quality sound. They learned it themselves, and now they're doing, like you said, independent individual music that's selling.
Now here's the other thing too. Sorry to cut you off, but the fact that we have all these super advanced programs also helps.
True.
also helps.
It only takes clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you know how to use plugins, obviously, for everyone out there, I'm going to be brutally honest. To create something that looks professional, sounds professional, whatever it is, you're gonna need money. No matter what. If you're a graphic designer or a graphic illustrator or, the Adobe suite, you have to pay for it, If you're trying to create music, you're going to have to get Pro Tools and you're going to have to pay for it, okay? It does take money, but it doesn't take the money that it used to take back in the day to advertise. You know how much a fucking billboard advertisement costs per month? I'm not sure.
It was land.
Yeah. Fucking for real.
It was land. It was tenant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you were a tenant and you were buying fucking space.
You were buying space.
Yes.
For visual space, That's what you were paying rent for visual space. So you might as well live in the bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking camp out on the fucking
the post,
Yeah. But that's just it though. We are living in the era
of golden. It's a golden era.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's scary at the same time. And I don't really want to touch on the subject just yet, but we're heading to the...
I think that this is the golden era and destruction era. And we read about, quote unquote, history before. It happens.
Right.
It's happened. There's a... for those who are able to see, and this is... the same thing I've been talking about is something that I now, that mature, and I have goals and records that I need to break, right? Personally, now I see,
right,
where I need to build at,
right.
It is what it is. This is the dimension we're living in now.
But the beauty of it is that all these things could be learned virtually.
What I'm saying.
All these things can be learned virtually. If you want to design clothing, if you want to design buildings, if you want to design whatever it is that you want to do, you could do it virtually now in a computer. I have seen graffiti done in fucking virtual reality. Have you seen this shit?
I've seen some of it.
There's a you put on the headset and you get your controllers. And it's a fake wall or a subway or whatever the fuck you want it to be, and you use different can tips, and you could bomb. You could bomb a piece in virtual reality. Where you don't have to worry about. When I was a kid and all these motherfuckers were trying to develop their graffiti styles, yeah, these motherfuckers were out going out in the middle of the night. There'd be one motherfucker on the corner with a walkie-talkie looking out, and the other motherfucker would be in the alley bombing. And if this motherfucker saw the cops, hey dog, they coming. Popo, let's get the fuck out of here. Damn, hey, they're coming from this street. They're coming from
school.
Yeah, bro.
Remember the peace books?
Yeah.
That's where your practice came from.
That's where the practice
before you
came
hit
from.
The streets.
Right.
And you still had to hand it out to other writers so they could see you in the black book.
But you also had to be careful because if you got caught with that black book, then they knew where you were mobbing up.
And we know a lot of them.
Yeah, there was
a lot of them that got gotten like that.
Yep.
But it's crazy though, right?
Yeah.
That now you can get a freaking iPad.
Yeah.
And you can do your thing there.
Yep.
Instead of carrying that book.
Yep. Or books. Because I knew motherfuckers that
had books.
Books. I knew this dude. I forgot what he used to fucking write, man. But this motherfucker used to come around. What was it? Grime or fucking whatever. This is ages ago, man. We were fresh out of high school. I went to continuation school with him, as a matter of fact.
What year are we talking about?
Oh, we talking about 95, 96. Yeah. That's when 91, 92, 93 was when the whole tagging...
That shit was hard. It was
big.
It was going
and
in.
hard. And the tag banging. That's when it it got brought up to the public eye through the news, but there was a lot of tagging crews that were going heads up with gangs. There was a lot of tagging crews that were doing big shit, and eventually they ended up becoming treses. You know, there was some, and obviously they died out because the original big fucking gangs are the ones that never really died out. They just absorbed the little tagging crews and the little. But there was a lot of motherfuckers that were out there that were, you know, well, I'm hooked up with this fucking,
man,
you know,
that's another topic.
And they got my back, so I can go and mob on this wall without disrespecting anybody. But if I cross the street and go over there and mob on that wall, well, I could probably get smoked, because that's a whole other hood, you know. And it's crazy, dude. That shit fucking trips me out. That whole little, like, yeah, we see city signs and it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm going into Whittier now, or I'm going into Torrance now, or I'm driving into San Pedro now, or whatever. But there's also the invisible lines of gang territory that a lot of people didn't know about. I remember one time I was in ninth grade, dude, and I walked to Linwood and I was wearing a red jersey. And I went to go visit a buddy of mine that lived out there, and I was getting eyeballed the whole way, dude. And I was like, what the fuck? But I'm a ninth grader. I didn't know shit. And back then, ninth graders were stupider than they are now, right? That's my fucking defense. I was dumb, all right? I was a dumb kid. And I show up to my buddy's house, and this motherfucker looks at me, he's like, hey, dog, take that fucking jersey off. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, hey, take that shit off, dude. Here, I'm gonna get you a shirt. And yeah, and I didn't know. I didn't know that the motherfuckers eyeballing me were like, this motherfucker's a blood.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea.
Damn.
But it goes back to that whole, but anyway, getting back to the topic of graffiti. Yeah, man, not even graffiti, just anything and everything that you want to learn how to do. Take an hour of your day, go to YouTube, look up a tutorial on what it is that you want to study, what it is that you want to learn. There's fucking everything. I have been able to find more or less everything. I fuck around with woodworking. I've been able to find tutorials on how to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, staining wood, cutting wood, whatever it is. I've been able to build a couple things. This whole little setup here, I learned it on fucking YouTube. I bought the mic with the fucking apparatus over there, and I went on YouTube and how do you record it? Yeah.
And eventually somebody's gonna hear it, and those who do hear it, they get inspired, and they do the same shit, and it happens, and it goes on,
And then they're gonna talk shit about me. Yeah, that fucking guy's an asshole.
Fuck, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we heard this dude's.
Yeah, we heard that fucking asshole say this and that, and we followed what he said, and I bought a Focusrite. I don't even know what mic it is with a fucking.
I mean, he was talking shit.
Yeah.
When he said it, he was yapping. You could tell he's a big yap head. Hey,
but that's just it though. But we're in an era, like you said, we're in a golden era. But
this is the golden era and destruction era. There's two kinds. There's always been two kinds of people on this earth. There's the doers and there's the don'ts. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you figure it out. You get the way. You do it. You make it happen. You create.
Yeah.
You
manifest it.
You manifest it, and there's always you captured it from something or someone, some experience, brought it to life. Somebody listens to it, could relate, or grasps it from you because they got inspired, and boom, creates it again, but does something slightly different.
And that's always key.
And it goes on.
And that's always key.
And it goes on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We're podcasting right now. Why? Because somebody decided to podcast.
Look,
you get what I'm saying?
I've been a big listener of podcasts lately because this is the main reason why. Because even if their information is incorrect, or even if they're biased, or even if they don't know shit about what the fuck they're talking about, like me, guess what? It's just a fucking dude in front of a mic saying what he wants to say, and that's it. And that's the beauty of it. It's like we could come in here and talk about fucking this and that and the other, but the beauty of it is, and once again, it goes back to like, respecting others' opinions and at the same time trying to broaden your horizons by listening to people. And there might be 1 minute of something that we said here that might cause people to fucking, go back and think like, oh shit, well, you know what? I didn't like shit that they said.
But damn, you couldn't have said a better word. But we're literally in that era right now.
Yeah.
Where you could talk shit, and people are gonna hate you for talking shit.
Yeah.
Of whatever specific subject that you're
whatever it is.
Whatever you're talking about, right? They're gonna talk shit and they're gonna hate you, but guess what? You brought yourself to their attention.
Right.
So they're still gonna somehow put you out there to be recognized because they hated you, and they're gonna say, this fucking asshole here, you see him? He's talking shit about such and such thing.
Right.
So now somebody that hears you talk about that,
I'm gonna do the opposite of what he's doing, and I inspired him, whether negatively or positively.
Right. So for example, podcasting.
Yeah.
You're talking some shit about a subject right now. Somebody that's contrary to what your perspective is gonna say, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
He's talking shit about this and that.
Yeah.
So guess what? Now I'm gonna create a podcast that goes against his shit.
Hey,
you get what I'm saying? That's inspiration though.
Hey, as long as y'all motherfuckers plug me in, all right, throw the plug, throw the fucking the tag, Big Z and Company, and
plugs.
Yeah. Let's plug it. You know what I mean? And we good, man. I don't care. I'm what? Here's one of the things that I find fucking crazy, dude. Joe Rogan. I think people are divided with Joe Rogan, right? There's the people that think that he's a fucking nut job. I think that he's a fucking agent. All right, in my personal opinion.
I think he's just an actor.
Yeah. I think that he's a fucking agent. I think that he's an insider. I think that.
But he's interesting.
But he's interesting. And he says a lot of shit that makes you think. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Here's my thing, man. Here's my thing about the Rogan podcast, right? And I'm not hating on him. Fuck it, man. More power to him. He's doing a great fucking job. He has all these, really great fucking guests. I just can't believe he's that fucking smart. Because every single fucking guest that he has, he knows exactly what they're talking about. And it's insane to me. And I got a feeling that Jamie dude is putting shit in his ear through the headset to say, oh yeah, well, they talking about Gobekli Tepe. So fucking talk about, the fucking whatever detail, I don't know. I could be wrong. But goddamn. For being a fucking... Because I've done drugs. I've done psychedelics. I haven't done DMT yet. But I don't think my brain is sharp enough because of these drugs to contain as much information as that motherfucker has. Now, I could be wrong. He might be an anomaly. He might be some sort of supersonic brain that can retain terabytes and terabytes of fucking information because he's a fucking smart-ass dude, man.
Well, he's been a host.
And he could fight.
Yeah. He's been a host of prime shows.
Right.
So, I don't think he's just a host. I think he's also... He's
an analyst.
He's an analyst and he's a director.
Yeah.
So, I think that because those three abilities there, besides the rest of them that he has, I think that that puts him in that persona. Mm-hmm. That regardless, I think his genius and ability is that he's able to analyze. Mm-hmm. He probably reads a lot. Mm-hmm. If he's not an agent, it's the same shit. Agents, they study. Mm-hmm. Agents gotta study, everything that they gotta know to be able to become that. Mm-hmm. So, I guess it could be the same thing, but I think he's He's just that he's been that's what he does. That's who he is.
I think he's getting information in the headset. Anyway. Hey, but this is.
But it's trippy that you say like that because hey, every time Jamie pull it up, I think when he says Jamie pull it up, Jamie's typing.
Yeah. Or somebody else in the back is over here fucking. Hey, Dick, you gotta mention this and you gotta mention that and you gotta talk about this here and you gotta talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
I could be wrong and I'm being conspirational about a conspirational subject. But yeah, man, my hat's off to Joe Rogan though because this is the loveliest part about it. Of all the fucking shit that he says and talks, ain't no one really gonna go over there and fucking step up to him because the motherfucker can fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I saw a video where he broke some fucking MMA fighter's record. One of those things that measures the pressure of your kick.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he has it in his studio.
He fucking broke the record of
just kicking heavy kicks.
Yeah, and I get it. He's short, so the center of gravity is lower. Therefore, I don't know how it works.
I think he studied a different kind of martial art.
He's a fucking animal, is what it is.
He studied plenty of martial arts.
Yeah,
but his primary one is Taekwondo. That's his background. That's his primary background. Taekwondo is based.
And that's all kicking, right?
Taekwondo is based on all distance and kicking. So because you're distance kicking,
yeah,
and especially his technique is flawless.
Yeah.
So because he's been a practitioner for so many years.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's talking about.
Why do you think he's never fought though?
He did competitions in his days, but he never fought. I don't know. I think it goes back to the genius of him.
Yeah.
Now a lot of geniuses have so many abilities.
That's true.
And I think I could speak about it as someone that I believe I'm a genius because I have so many abilities, even though I haven't mastered a lot of them.
Right.
But I'm able to jump.
Yeah.
But he's a master.
Yeah.
Of his own disguise.
Right.
Because he's done so much. He accomplished so much, and everything that he's done is mastery each.
Right.
It's all mastery through each, and I think that's why you believe he's an agent. I think that it has, a lot to do with. We're not getting into a whole different subject, but I think that sometimes we do. Our judgment comes from that we can't understand. Right. That's where our judgment comes from, and not 100%, but 50% for sure.
Yeah.
That we cannot understand becomes a judgment.
That's true.
So therefore, I think that we started create the we started to separate the realities that we cannot fit in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah. I see a piano. I don't understand it.
I don't know how to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
What did he do to learn how to play like that?
Right,
why is he playing like that? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I tried it plenty of times and I can't play like that.
So you're saying I'm a hater? Yeah, fuck Joe Rogan. No. I get what you're saying.
I'm giving you mine.
No, I get what you're saying though. Not maybe, but someone does have the ability to be able to master all of these things, and because of the fact that I have been unable to master the same things, that's where my judgment comes from, where it's like, oh well, Dick, what the fuck, he's an agent, he's being fed information, this and that, blah blah blah. I just I find it beyond insane though that he's able to carry conversations with astrophysicists, with astronauts, with people that are hunters, with Navy SEALs, with people that have served in the military, with all these different comedians. He has everyone. And then he has fucking Joey Diaz on that motherfucker. The most insane fucking man on the planet. And Alex Jones is another fucking character. And he has them on. And what's this dude... the guy from 10th Planet.
Eddie Bravo.
He has Eddie Bravo on there. And he's able to fucking...
And Eddie Bravo's another martial arts fucking legend and shit. But he's
a knucklehead. He's a knucklehead. But that's what I'm saying, where he's able to cover the spectrum of that knowledge. And that's why I fucking respect the man. Plus the fact that he could probably kick my ass in like 30 seconds. But it's insane to me how his spectrum of knowledge goes and it's charisma, the ability to be able to hang out with these people and make them feel welcome and make them feel at home and to be able to carry on a conversation and to be able to get answers that perhaps even the person sitting there wasn't even thinking of answering on the way there. Like Elon Musk, he asked him about artificial intelligence, and I think that's one of the first times Elon Musk responded to the artificial intelligence question. I could be wrong here.
He had Elon Musk on his show.
Motherfucker. That's insane,
what
dude.
the fuck? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That already like...
Yeah.
That's already like,
super high status.
And his questions are just to the bone.
Right.
He cuts in.
Right.
The questions, you have to respond.
Yeah.
It ain't damn, his interviews and questions are not repetitive. It's not your typical interview you had with the upcoming
it's
reporter.
It's not scripted.
It's not scripted. It just he wants to bring out the best answers you can give.
Yeah.
That's mastery.
Absolutely.
That's mastery.
Yeah.
He's done it a lot. He's been doing this. This is what he does.
Well, maybe,
but then on top of everything else.
Maybe someday we could have astrophysicists in here and, ask them about, the simulation hypothesis and, the universe folding in on itself and creating wormholes and time travel. And we'll give them shots.
He's a martial arts analyst.
Right.
Intricate martial arts that are based in strategy. Based on the art of war.
Dude, he's a fucking robot. I just figured it out. How in the fuck? Yeah, because that motherfucker can
he's
break
an
down.
Analyst.
Dude, the motherfucker can break down how you're fighting and know what kind of style you're using.
And unless you're a fighter or experienced or trained, you know what the fuck he's talking about.
Exactly.
Besides that, you're just an spectator.
What's that?
Happy about the fight, you know?
Oh God, what's the name of that? It's like this really lesser known fucking martial art.
Karate?
Not karate.
Not to talk bad about it. The karate's good, but
no. Karma.
Oh, Krav Maga.
That shit.
That's a Israeli military combat.
Oh shit! The Israelis have their own military combat style.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
This is from Israel.
It's
from Israel.
We're not gonna go into that.
No, subject. But listen. That's not. It's not low, but it's not the most effective. If you're talking about the most effective, it's always gonna go back to the main root, which is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And then I think if you in this age now, it's just Brazilian jiu-jitsu because of the self-defense.
Well, yeah. Well, the Gracies made that shit famous, and
yeah.
But it came from somewhere else, right?
It came from India, then Japan, Asiatic. We're talking centuries back to like
So this shit's older than like kung fu and fucking karate.
Came from it. From jiu-jitsu.
Oh, all that came from
jiu-jitsu.
But
it's because jiu-jitsu, I'm not, don't quote me on this, but I am a martial artist,
Right,
I
think if after a couple more beers we went outside, I'd probably, maybe headbutt you and, get you in an arm bar, but no, I'm kidding. But
I'm devoted to the study of it.
Right.
Not the practice too much. The practice comes after the study. Yeah. So I'm devoted to the study. I've been studying it. You
gotta be careful with that shit, man. As you get older, your joints don't. I mean, I'm made out of metal, so I'm good. I'm indestructible.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah. No, I've fallen out of a moving vehicle 4 times, and gotten up and just shaking it off. I've fallen off of a 2-story building, and that was good. I fell in some bushes. If I were to tell you all these things, anyway, but
those stories.
No, but as you get older, your joints and all that shit starts, you know, kind of wear and tear, dude. Like
it happens.
Yeah,
but hey, a lot of those. Well, man, I mean, if you're talking professional fighters, they all go through
Don't they inject like stem cells?
None. They don't allow that shit no more.
Oh, really?
Unless you're retired. If you're retired, that's what you do. But you can't fight and be doing this kind of therapies.
All right, yeah, because supposedly the stem cells or whatever that treatment is, it brings you back like
it's an everything that
it's
has
an
to
enhancement,
do with
right?
enhancement.
Yeah.
You cannot be a part of a major competition because then you have the advantage, right?
Okay, why is that though? I think it would be interesting as fuck if they got a bunch of steroided out motherfuckers. Like, let them do steroids right before the fight, and maybe let loose like 3 of them in a ring.
But that would be
just have them fucking beat the shit out of each other, dude. That would be a new thing. Damn, hey, we need to capitalize on that idea. Roid FC. And you let them fucking do it. You could take ayahuasca right before the fight if you want.
RFC?
Yeah, RFC. You let them take psychedelics, or you let them take do a couple of bumps in the bathroom before they come out. You know, and you let them loose in the ring, and then you see what happens and hey, dude, trip out on this, man. Trip out. This is an idea. We could do this out in the Congo or somewhere where overseas international seas. These guys, they could do whatever drug they want, and when you're on drugs, sometimes it's hard for you to, you know, they throw you off balance, or you're forced to do like mushrooms before the fight, and then they let you in and you gotta fight. And these motherfuckers might be standing around staring at their fucking feet for like 10 minutes, or, you know, or one of them might snap out of it and be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking karate chop the cantaloupe off this motherfucker's shoulders, you know? It's just an idea, but it'd be great. It'd be like, you know, you get 2 heroin junkies and you throw them in a ring.
No rules.
No rules. Fuck it. You biting.
So if a motherfucker's tripping on his shoes, you just come from the bag and blah.
Yeah, just hit him with the flying elbow in the back of the fucking head, and you know, he's out. And it'd be interesting. It'd be, you know, because there's people that can control the trips more than others, you know. So not only would you have to be physically fit, but you would have to be mentally fit with all kinds of shit in your brain, like, you know, in your system. It's just an idea.
If you think about it, most successful and major athletes, fighters, professional fighters, they contain both of those factors.
I think they're
mentally and physically.
Oh yeah,
in shape. Dude. So you add enhancements to those two. What the fuck are you gonna get?
An animal.
And fucking animal, exactly.
Beast. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.